With many rides at Alton Towers reopening, being reimagined, being retracked, or just in general being built really secretly in the back corner of the park, I was sat there in the dark abyss of Oblivion's vertical drop hole and thought, I've discussed the rides coming to the park, but why don't I discuss the rides that may be next to leave the park? It's time for yet another edition of Speculation Time. And if you enjoy this kind of speculation and want to see more, be sure to subscribe. It would help out a ton. So all the rides we've seen over the years at Alton Towers, such as the Wickerman, the Smiler, the 13, they're all very good rides that obviously occupy a specific piece of land. And those pieces of land were previously occupied by older rides and attractions. 13 was of course placed in the area of the infamous corkscrew roller coaster, which has since had two of its elements moved to the front of the park. So if someone wants to buy the rest of the track that's probably in a landfill right now to make the finished layout, please be my guest. The Smiler previously had the black hole tent in it, which honestly, I still can't believe that used to be a tent. Look at it now, it's just this absolute spaghetti mess of just... And of course, we have Wickerman, which was previously a flume ride called the Flume. Innovative name right there. Now, as much as all the rides before the newer ones were all dearly loved by many, these ones are clearly better. Sorry, creepy duck in the tunnel. But obviously this shows that some rides in the park get old and they decide to move on and end up demolishing them to make way for different secret weapons. So that begs the question, could it happen again? Continue the trend, Towers. You know what to do. Jokes aside, it is something that we have to consider because, well, if they're removing older rides and replacing them with bigger and better new ones, it's quite an easy utilisation of space. So what rides do we reckon will get the chop eventually? Well, I have a few in mind. Some of them are plausible, others may not be. The first somewhat plausible one is actually two rides being removed, and that is the Blade and Funk and Fly. Now, we have one reason as to why this may happen. It's because, as you know, Merlin adore flat rides and they wouldn't do anything to remove them at all. And it's also been stated by management before that Wickerman was actually supposed to go in that area, so if they've planned something there before, why can't they do it in future? It is quite a large area, so there's a lot of potential there, but at the same time, it's in Forbidden Valley, which means there'd be 3 coasters in one area, and that can't run at Alton Towers, that's illegal. But it is a good shout, although it would be very sad to see another permanent flat ride go. Hang on, literally that is the last one, so there'll be none left. Oh my god. And Funk and Fly just being a retro squad ride would probably just move to the top of the towers for next season. Another area that was once considered for a new coaster that could well be again is Katanga Canyon, in place of the Congo River Rapids. Now, if we're being honest, the River Rapids are on life support at the moment. It's got no waterfalls, you hardly get wet anymore, it's pretty much just a lazy river, but you sit in a massive dinghy. And being a River Rapids, it takes up a lot of land. As you can see, it spans the entirety of Katanga Canyon. Because I genuinely think a ride like Hagrid's magical motorbike creature, the Hagrid ride at Universal, a ride like that would be perfect for Alton Towers' audience because it would literally cater to everyone and they would theme it so well, as they've proved before. Not only there, but another area that is potentially in contention for the first to be removed championship is the ride and area of Spinball Whizzer, the very popular spinning roller coaster that always seems to build up this mad long queue. That once again is a large piece of land, and the ride itself is pretty old now and it seems to be a technical nightmare. I might just be making that up. Although I am talking about these rides getting replaced for new coasters, I feel like this one would get something else. Although I'd absolutely love to see Ride to Happiness, Spinball 2, you know what I mean? But considering it's so close to CBeebies Land, I could just see this becoming an expansion of CBeebies Land. You know, give it another 10 years, Smiler's not far down the road. But if it does end up actually being used for a new roller coaster, a secret weapon land, then to see a Mack Extreme spinning coaster with either launches or a lift hill would be insane. It would pay homage to the lovely spinning factor of the Whizzer ride. And if we're being honest, if it were like Ride to Happiness or something even better, it would be one of the best rides in the country, if not the world. Although we'd never hear the heads back, hold tight, here we go. And thinking of it, I do have a bit of an unrealistic ride that could be removed. You never know, the Nemesis retrack just might be a hoax. It'll never reopen. I'd say, of course, I have to say it, Rita will be removed from Alton Towers. It could be, you know, it's a high maintenance nightmare from what I've heard, and compared to all the other coasters in the park, it's just not it. Obviously as well, there is a lot of land free right now without rides on it, and that could be used as well. Those blue markings on the trees outside Nemesis Subterra? What ride do you think will leave the park next, and what do you want to replace it? Leave your thoughts in the comments below.